company. It's called the Company Limited. It's chapter 2. So we've got a few steps to do here. First one is arrange your invoices. This is done for you in the work pack, and you're going to list and analyze the invoices, which you're going to do over here in this Excel worksheet. If you missed lesson 1, you can get these worksheets from accountinginsight.com, and there is a link to the website for the book and for the exercise sheets in the video details on YouTube. So to go to the work pack, we go into contents and we click down here. It's under Appendix A and it's number 2 there, purchase invoices. So these are the purchases that this company has made for various goods or services that it needs in order to run its business. The first invoice we've got is an invoice from Stationers ETC, and it is to the company. Company's addresses, and it's all fictional stuff. But to record this on an accounting system, or in our case, we're using the Excel spreadsheets here. We start by putting in the date of the invoice, which you can see on here, is 2nd January 2000. Invoice number is 21859. The name of suppliers is Stationers ETC Inc. Sorry. The gross amount is down here, is £34. The VAT is £5.08, and the net is £29. Now this stationery obviously is needed by the company for its business, and we analyze it out as I think we're going to analyze it out as sundry. Just bear with me a minute. Yeah, so we're going to analyze this out as sundry expense. What we're doing is, while we're recording all the purchases that the company has made, we are also trying to find out what type of expense it is. And normally businesses need to record this to help themselves control their expenses. So if they're spending too much on rent or phone, they need to know how much it is and what they can do to reduce it. But in addition, if you're preparing accounts for a business for tax purposes, your tax authorities will want to see what the types of expenses you're claiming are and how those link back to your purchase invoices. So that's one of the reasons accounts for businesses are compiled. So it's to help the owner understand their own business. It's for tax authorities to also understand and agree or verify your transactions. So I'm going to go to the second invoice. It's a purchase of computers. So we bought 10 computers from a company called Bits and Bytes Limited on the 10th of January. So put the date in, January 3000. Sorry, that date here should be 3000. The invoice number, we'll obviously keep this for records. Imagine if you're in a bigger business, you'd have hundreds of invoices, and if a supplier calls you up and wants their invoice paid, you'd want to know, you both want to know which invoice it is, and that's why you record the invoice number, their invoice number. So this is from Bits and bytes unlimited. The gross amount is 5875. The VAT is 875. And this, we're going to analyze this in a company that's trading goods, particular types of goods. Those goods will be called they'll be called purchases of stock, or we call them purchases of goods. In this case, we're going to analyze the 5,000 as goods bought. So this is their main trading stock. Okay, so that's that invoice entered. We'll go to the next invoice. So the third invoice is from property rental companies for annual rent. So the company limited is renting out its premises at 255 Baker Street, and the rent is 800 net of VAT, 940 gross. So enter that invoice in. And it's from property rental limited. 940 gross, VAT 140, net amount is 800. We're going to put it in the rent column here. So now we're kind of tracking what the invoices are. What are the expenses of this business? Go to the fourth invoice. Here we got the purchase of a van. So the company limited has bought a extra large van combo. I suppose that is for delivering the computers to their customers. And we put in the invoices details in the accounts. So invoice number is, we'll start with the date 10th January 3000. Invoice number 9856. The company's vans are Go. The total amount of the van is 3,525. The VAT on it is 525. And this we're going to classify as the company is not trading this van, it's using it as an asset within the business. So it's like what you would call a fixed asset. So we're going to classify it as a van asset. So put a net amount there under van asset. I just realized the second invoice here, I think we got the wrong invoice number. Just go and double check that. Just bear with me a minute. Bytes Unlimited there, the invoice number is 7889. I put in the registration number, which is wrong. Okay, moving on. So we got the van invoice. Now we go to these two invoices here. So these are receipts. So the business in doing delivery has been buying fuel for its van, and it's got the receipts for them. So the first one we put in here would be 15th January 3000. Invoice number, I don't think there's an invoice number. There's no invoice number. Obviously it came from Solar Motor Fuels PLC, and the gross amount was 169.20. The VAT was 25.2. The net amount is 144. Just can't see pence in here, so I'll just make sure we can show pence here. Let's increase the, yeah, we can see pence, so 144, the net cost. and that we're going to classify it as motor fuel or motor expenses. Yeah, so you treat it as motor expenses, 144. And we had another one here, down here, was done on the 5th of April, 2000. There's no invoice number, excuse me. So there's also 169.20, back 25.20, so motor fuels. Okay. Moving on, the next invoice is from Incase Insurance PLC. Obviously, the company has insured its trading stock in case it got burned down in fire. It can claim the value of the stock from the insurance company. Hopefully, nothing like that happens, but to be safe, it's better to do that. So, put in the invoice details in our purchase invoice analysis list. The date is 1st of April, 3000. The policy number, we use the policy number as the reference, 5456. In Case Insurance PLC. The gross amount is £250, annual premium. There's no VAT on insurance, it's exempt from VAT, so zero there. And then we analyze it out as sundry. Call it 250 and put details insurance. And here we put stationery. Yeah. Okay. Go to the next purchase invoice. So purchase invoices in some countries are called bills. It's when you come to using accounting software. What is a bill is also called a purchase invoice. So here we got some more purchase of computers for resale, and the date is 2nd May 3000. Invoice number 8859. Bits and Bytes Limited, Unlimited. He's bought 3,525 worth. The VAT on that is 525. And again, that is goods bought 3,000. We analyze the net there. Moving on to the next. I've entered that one, yeah, that's fine. So normally when you're entering invoice, you mark them off as entered so that you don't enter them in twice in error. If you're working on paper, you do that. Here we're just keeping note of which ones we've put in and which ones we haven't. Right, so this one was purchased on 5th of July, 3,000. Excuse me. There's no number, and it's solar fuels. The amount is 169.20. The VAT is 25.20. 144. Put it on again. Motor expenses analysis. The next purchase invoice or bill is from a phone call. It's to do with the telephone services. The date of the bill is 14th July 3000. Invoice number is 95523. See it up there. And it's the company called A Phone Call Limited. The amount is £55.34. The VAT is 824. And we're going to analyze it. We have a column there for phone expenses, and the amount is 47. The net amount 47. Moving on to the next. It's another purchase of stock from our main supplier. So this was on the 2nd of August. 3,000. And the invoice number is 8878. Bits and bytes, and he bought 10 and 5875. What's the gross amount? That is 875. And this is goods purchase, so 5,000 analyzed under goods purchase column. Moving on to the next invoice, so it's fuel again. This is it's doing quite a lot of deliveries. 4th October 3,000. There's no number. Solar fuels. It's 171.55. The VAT is 25.55. The net amount is 146. And this goes under motor expenses. So it's 146. Move on to the next. I think that is it. Just double check. That is what we're expecting. Yeah, so that is it. So we've the next bit, which I'll show you in the next tutorial, will be dealing with the bank account. These are bank paying in book stubs. So we entered all the purchase invoices for this business. As you can see, they bought goods for resale. They spent some amount of money on rent, some on telephone, motor expenses. They bought a van, and they have some other sundry expenses here. So I'll move on to the chapter we're working on. So we've done step 1 was done for us already. Step 2, we've done it. So we've got all the invoices listed out. And this is just an example of what to do. And we've totaled all the amounts here. I'm using Excel, and I got a sum figure in here. So that totals. If you're doing it on paper, you need to add them up with a calculator to get your totals down here. And this is what you should get. So basically, as we said, you created a list of the types and values of purchases in the period. And these are goods and services that have flowed into the business to enable it do the business that it needs to do. The VAT, we consider that a flow into the business, mainly because we can deduct it from the VAT that we're going to pay on the sales. So in chapter 1, we had VAT that was payable on the sales. That's going to be paid to the government. But because this company is registered for VAT, it can deduct the amount of VAT that it pays on its purchases from the VAT that it pays out. So this is considered a flow into the business. And then the last part is you look at this list. This is a list of all the people the business needs to pay, and the gross amount is the total amount the business is going to pay out, and that can be considered a flow of cash, or what's going to flow out of the business, flow of cash out of the business. So when we pay it, you like to see the cash flowing out. Again, as I said in chapter 1, flows, the way we're looking at them here will help you understand debits, in this case, flows into the business, debits, and credits flows out to the business. So that is kind of helpful, trying to make things intuitive here. So this list you got here is also called a creditors list, as it shows you who you owe money to and how much it is. These are simple methods of keeping accounting record. We're using simple methods so that you can understand from the ground up how a set of accounts gets compiled. Anyone looking at this can understand what's going on here. As you progress through the book and as everything comes together, the puzzle of accounting becomes more clearer, and your understanding of accounting will definitely improve. So once you've done this, if you bought the book, you can check your answer to the answers at the back of the book and give yourself some marks. And thank you for listening. I'll see you on the next chapter when we'll be dealing with bank transactions. Thank you.